Hello everyone, I am Julian Morris with the Channel 5 News. In the headlines, new judge adjourns the EWP petitions matter to July the 21st. Tourism Minister pleased with the expansion works at Fort Young Hotel, and government and the CDB to fund specialized emergency shelter in the Kalinago territory. The details of the news coming up.
Corner, yay, and in our hearts we are with you. We are so grateful for all you do. We want to say thank you, 'cause when we need you, you're always there, risking it all to keep us safe. You are our heroes, so we sing the song for you. No matter the time, you're by our side to always make sure we are secure. Our hearts are filled with thanks, 'cause you give your all and more. So we send in our love from Sagicor. Yes, Sagicor, sending our love to you.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
First up in the news, Justice Ralston Glasgow has adjourned the hearing of an application to strike out the EWP elections petitions to the 21st of July. Following the December 2019 general election, the EWP filed petitions seeking to have results for 10 constituencies overturned. Tuesday's High Court sitting would have heard an application by government to strike out the EWP petitions. Senior Counsel Anthony Astefan is the lead attorney for the Dominica Labour Party. His position is that the EWP petitions have no merit. The EWP is asking the court to overturn elections results for Roseau South, Roseau Central and Roseau Valley, Castlebruce, Salibia, Wesley, La Plaine, St. Joseph, Maho and Montjean are also being challenged. Justice Bernie Stevenson and Eddie Ventos both recused from the hearing. The Attorney General did not support resident Justice Wynand Adrian Roberts presiding over the matter because of her prior engagements. In Tuesday's matter, the judge gave directions as to how he wants the parties to formulate their case. He felt it would be best to hear oral submissions after that is done. Everyone, including the petitioner's lawyers, agreed. Government and the Caribbean Development Bank to fund the construction of a specialized emergency shelter in the Kalinago territory. Andrea Louis reports.
This is among government efforts to boost the number of emergency shelters available for public use. Recently, an over $2 million state-of-the-art first-of-its-kind emergency shelter was handed over to the people of Layu. Prime Minister Skerrit says government concluded contractual sums with the European Union for $32 million to construct 2 built-for-purpose facilities in Jimmet and Castlebruce.
You'll recall after Hurricane Maria, the government announced that it was going to build regional hurricane shelters in the first instance and then focus on individual communities to enhance our preparedness and our safety during natural disasters. And we're hoping that works can commence once we can ease the travel restrictions. Work will commence on these 2 built-for-purpose facilities.
Other communities have also been earmarked to house regional shelters.
We've also completed the designs for a specialized hurricane shelter in the Kalinago territory. And this will be jointly financed by the government of Dominica and the Caribbean Development Bank. We are finalizing the issues of land. And once that is done, we'll proceed with the tender process so that we can commence construction on this. Then we shall be building a regional center in the Granby area and also in Portsmouth as the next step as regional centers, and also in the Wesley, Marigot area for that catchment area.
In a further effort to provide shelter from natural disasters, the apartment buildings which were handed over to needy residents last month also have been outfitted with safe spaces which can be used during an emergency. Mr. Skerritt explained this feature will be the norm in apartment blocks to be handed over to the people of Dominica.
What we have also been doing in the government is with the homes that we're building, the apartments that we're building, we have designated space in these buildings as designated hurricane shelters. So if you go to Dalis, we have given up a couple apartments, and to allow for adequate space with kitchen and showers, to provide for as hurricane shelters in the event our residents would have to, those who have not benefited from resilient homes, there is a space for you. And the same thing in Graffa, and the same obtains in the village of San Sove.
The public service is currently focused on what it needs to do to improve or enhance delivery of services to the public. Chief Personnel Officer Corinne Prevost says they are in the process of launching a service delivery improvement program through the Ministry of Public Governance and Public Service Reform. She says in the case of customer service, besides issues with those who serve the public, there are also systems and processes that also present problems in service delivery.
We are looking at the use of technology. How do we utilize technology to ensure that individuals can receive services in a faster and more efficient manner? Decentralization of services, I know that's something that you have spoken about, PM. We have people who live, in Marigot, in Portsmouth. Do they have to come to town to get some of the services? So we are working with the various ministries. We have conducted an assessment and prepared a database of all the services provided by government, and we are looking at several aspects: the fees, the forms, the place where the service is being provided, the means by which the service is being provided, and assessing these aspects of the service, we are going to look at how can we improve each aspect of service delivery. So how can we make payment easier? Making payment easier may mean that we may need to have more credit card machines at various government offices. It may also mean that we may need to utilize e-payment technology, and I'm very happy that we're working with the ICT department and the Ministry of Public Works and Digital Economy to establish an e-payment portal. That is in advanced stages. We are working with the Ministry of Finance and the National Bank to ensure that we can have this e-payment portal launched very soon. And the idea would be that you can pay for basic government services, a driver's license. There are some services that already exist with the Inland Revenue, but we want to expand that. You may need a marriage license or, some other service, and you could just go online at your home and, make a payment, or someone can pay from overseas for you. These are some things that make things more efficient in the system.
$28 million from the World Bank has been assigned to implement a digital economy unit. A large chunk of that money goes towards e-government services.
So that will assist us in acquiring the required technology and systems and training to ensure that we can bring the public sector into the technology age, and that we can introduce innovation. In the manifesto, I know that there was reference made to kiosks being put at the airport to facilitate ease of immigration. And there are a number of other areas that have been identified for technology. We're looking at placing kiosks at various government offices so that you may not have to follow a line. You can fill out your application form from a kiosk, and then, the application goes through. The ICT department is working on digitizing forms so that you would not have to print a form, write it out, and then walk to an office. You can go online, you can fill out the form, all the information goes to the office, they start processing it in advance. These are some ways that we see the public sector being able to provide improved delivery of the services.
And modernizing transactions within the public service by utilizing available technology. Prime Minister Skerritt says that's part of the reason why his administration has been promoting going digital and designated a particular ministry with responsibility for the digital economy.
We have gone very speedily. Election was just December, and we've already contracted a loan of $28 million United States dollars towards efforts to improve, to implementing that modern way of conducting business.
The Prime Minister says there are disadvantages and unnecessary delays because public service transactions are largely done on paper.
The public sector is still transacting with paper. So everything is written. So if you go to one government department, they have to go to this file. And then they're supposed to be linked to another department, but there's no link because it's paper. They have to take this file and walk across. So even when things require my approval under the Constitution or in any particular law, they have to walk with some huge files across, you know. So this is why we recognize, and even in the Dominican Labour Party's manifesto, this is why we're very clear on the digital economy and ensuring that we move towards the modernization of the economy and the transactions within the public sector by using technology.
You are watching Channel 5 News. We'll have more after this.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD. All for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
Thank you for staying with us. Tourism Minister Denise Charles is satisfied with the construction works to expand one of Dominica's leading hotels. We go again to Andrea Louis for more.
Construction work at the Fort Young Hotel got underway last year in a move to increase capacity and accommodate a larger number of tourists to the property. Expansion works had been halted due to the COVID-19 pandemic, but a lot of progress had been made on the new structure thus far. Minister Charles says she is pleased with the level of advancement on capacity expansion at the Fort Young Hotel.
Fort Young Hotel is one of our hotels that has been in the Dominican hotel family for a very long time, and we are pleased to see the expansion work that had taken place prior to being abruptly halted by COVID. But I'm reassured that work will continue, and once work continues, we will see a grand opening hopefully sometime next year to 100 rooms. And that will mean that there will be more people employed at Fort Young, about 200 people hopefully.
General Manager of the Fort Young Hotel, Dinesh Kisun, says the property is looking to have a phased reopening, which is dependent on the situation at the borders and the movement of people.
In terms of reopening of Fort Young, we're still monitoring right now in terms of the market, and based on demand, we're looking at having at least two phases, phase 1 and a phase 2, and we're hoping to open anytime soon, as long we have demand to to fill. Fort Young relies a lot on corporate traveling, and as well on group travel, which is dive. We do a lot of dive groups and adventure group, and a little bit of leisure market, which is a little bit slow, and but corporate travel is down right now in the region. All the over islands, people cannot travel. If they travel, they come back to the country, it's quarantine. So everything is still up in the air. It's very fluid at the moment.
The loss of layout operations has also been identified as having an impact on visitors to the hotel.
Regional traveling is heavily dependent to come to Dominica. There's no straight flight from Trinidad, for example, to Dominica. We'll be massively impacted because 50% of the business relies on corporate travel, and corporate travel is heavily regional traveling and using the hub of Barbados and Antigua, which is serviced by Liat, and we will be heavily affected.
A restructuring of prices for meat products from the National Abattoir. Operations Manager of the National Abattoir, Michael Etienne, says work is ongoing to review and adjust the price of meat products from the abattoir.
The price structure is being reviewed in terms of where we are now, but as it stands right now, pork is $7 a pound, chicken $6 a pound, and we have various other parts that are a little bit cheaper. And as time goes along, as we continue to restructure and bring the meat to you where you are, we will have better price.
In an effort to reach a wider market, meat products from the National Abattoir were being sold under government headquarters. However, this venue has been changed and the Windsor Park Stadium is now being used.
The venue at the stadium, seems a bit far, but we must also remember that the reason we did it was to ensure that we could maintain safe distancing during the COVID era, and we want to ensure moving forward that we remain vigilant. So therefore, I'm appealing to our customers to bear with us as we continue to sell at the stadium. We have a lot of local chicken right now, whole birds, parts. The pork is as beautiful as ever because we want to maintain that quality to continue to satisfy you. But vigilance is the order of the day, and we want to ensure that we maintain a way that is going to ensure that we have safe distancing, we have a hygienic place, and we have the best place for you to buy your meat as of now.
And Cabinet Secretary His Excellency Ambassador Steve Farrell says renewed efforts at reclassification within the public service will change the system as we know it. Ambassador Farrell says job evaluations were done in 2014 and there have been 2 exercises which focused on teachers and nurses, but he says the current process has a much wider scope than what was done previously.
This one goes through a review of the actual structures of ministries, and we are still very excited by the mix of portfolios directed towards a dynamic Dominica, and I think that is one of the outcomes of the Dominica process to actually go into the public service and align it to those visions. So you will see an in-depth review of the structure of the public service, department by department. So agriculture and every other ministry will have to ask themselves, what is a modern agriculture ministry supposed to look like? What is the digital economy supposed to look like? And therefore we'll get the best set and classes of jobs that should fit its sector. And it's only then we will be able to then do a job evaluation exercise on those. So that the reclassification is more far-reaching. It will change the whole landscape of the public service, not just the classes of jobs, but the jobs themselves, the operating procedures, and all the processes that go with the system will be reviewed under that process.
Reclassification is expected to result in greater value for the public.
The modernization of the systems will automatically change the level and quality of services that they offer. So the process will change not just the officers in agriculture, for example. It will change the way we do agriculture. The digital economy would not just help us restructure. They will improve on the services that we offer to the consumers. As CPO said, most things online and all of that. And I think the public service itself will be more targeted and aligned at productivity. We will reduce wastage, we'll have a better structure to deliver on government's policy for the next maybe 20 years, I hope.
Helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
To end the news, a look again at the headlines. A new judge adjourns UWP elections petitions matter to the 21st of July. Tourism Minister pleased with expansion works at Fort Young Hotel, and government and the CDB to fund a specialized emergency shelter in the Kalinago territory. You may access the news on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the production team, I am Julian Morris. Thank you for watching. Join us tomorrow.